Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Fulham, episode 15 in the series. We're really racking those episodes up, but I suppose that's what happens when you do it every day. Now then, at the end of the last episode, you remember me saying that I wanted to try and get 5 points from the next 6 games, essentially. 5 points for the month of December. We've fallen slightly short, and I'll explain why. We were rubbish. That is pretty much the only explanation I can offer. Because against Southampton, against Southampton we were pretty unlucky when it comes down to it. It was one of those games where we were matched quite equally on the night. We controlled the possession a bit more, but because we looked to play on the break a lot with our system being counter-attacking, it just didn't quite work out for us, and Shane Long was able to score twice for them, which was good for him, I guess, but not so great for us, because although Southampton have a decent side, they don't really have a decent run in the league this year yet. They are really quite struggling. I was surprised that we finished as badly as we did here, actually. They did have more clear-cut chances than us, so although we were quite even on shots, their chances were better than ours. So it could have been 4-2, so I guess the 2-goal difference is probably about right in the end. But I don't know, I can still feel aggrieved at it because it looks better on the paper. But that was a great goal from Shane Long. There's nothing Stekelenburg's doing about that, unfortunately. No goalkeeper's saving that. Maybe Buffon. Or someone really fucking tall. Like that Costel Pantilimon, the Man City guy that's about 11 foot tall. Or is he? I think he's at Sunderland now, isn't he? God knows where he is on this game. We're in year 2. He could be anywhere. The second one, they caught us on the break, if I remember correctly. They just... Oh no, they did a Southampton thing and just played it around very slowly. But we have so many players that just get drawn out. Once they get the ball in this area, because we push so far forward to try and grab the winner, or grab an equaliser, we got caught on the break. Rodriguez's shot is saved by Stekelenburg, but he manages to push it just straight onto Shane Long's noggin. And it just basically bounced it off his face, it would appear. But, yeah, I don't think he'd be too bothered. He scored 2 goals against us, so who cares for him. Next game, we went away to Burnley, and I was very, very sceptical about... I thought this could be one of those ones that we could slip up at, and we very, very nearly did. It was a pull your hair out game, except that we did actually manage to get there in the end, which means I was able to pick my hair up off the floor and stick it back on my head again. Don't know how well that's going to work, but we'll have to just cross that bridge when we come to it. We were better than Burnley, as you can see. We were probably 2 goals better than Burnley. We should have won this game by 2 goals, but there's a great goal from Barnes. Ashley Barnes' goal was a fantastic effort. There's nothing you could do. We'd been dominating the game at this point, which is why I was so annoyed when it went in. However, in the second half, we did finally manage to work our way back into it, not long after half-time, which gave me hope. Some great work here from Kostas Petroglu, just dropping it into Thomas Drago, flicked it on for Kaci Niklic, and Kaci Niklic with a wonderful goal. It was a genuinely brilliant effort. More of that, please. If you can keep playing like that, we'd be very, very lucky. Now then, we were playing against some of our ex-players. Budarov, one of the players we sold to Burnley as part of the Kieran Trippier deal, brought down Drago, got himself a second yellow card and was red-carded there. I think he actually got a yellow card for bringing him down, and then like a second one for dissent. Because I only saw the first one, which made no sense to me, because I didn't think he was... I thought he should have been sent off, but it turns out he was, but it was a second yellow card, so I don't know. Huh? Second yellow card. Yeah, that's right. That wasn't intentional. Although, the name of the channel would suggest it probably was. Aston Villa. We had another one of those games. I'm going to start calling them Hull City games, where we're better than them, but we don't win. We take the lead, but we don't win. We've squandered ourselves way too many winning positions this season, although it's nice to see Kostas Petroglu getting another goal. Drago obviously really started to pull away on the leaderboards in terms of goal scoring with the goal that he scored against Burnley in the last game, but Petroglu has got himself back into it a little bit here. Drago, of course, provided the assist this time, so he's working on his other game. He and Mitroglou are obviously going to be the main goal threat for us this year, what with them being the sort of front two, as it were, but we look to see goals from our wingers too, either coming in at the back post or just bombing through. Unfortunately, we couldn't hold on. Loughton's ball in, and Christian Benteke rose like a salmon in the air. He rose like a flying cliche. But there's a reason why that cliche exists. He's a very, very good player in the air. And we couldn't handle him. Despite the fact that... No, you see, this is the thing. We actually weren't very good winning headers in this game, which is normally an area we dominate in with likes of Dan Burn, who is 6'7", I think. Like, that's Peter Crouch tall. That's I can't see my feet because there are clouds under my chin tall. That's some serious height. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and Benteke just outjumped him. That meant we only had 4 points going into this really tough run of fixtures, and I kind of hoped that we could nick something. And frankly, against Man United, we weren't even that bad. We were definitely poor, but we managed to sort of stop most of the chances. And it was a really scrappy goal. It was such a shame. It was one of those ones where the ball is just sort of rattling around in the penalty area, and eventually it rolls to Ander Herrera, and he's just smashed it. And it's such a shame because I thought we could actually nick a point at Alford, which would have been quite something because United having a decent season. Look at this. There's just a melee in the box, and eventually it comes back to Herrera, and he just smashes it through about 50 million people. God knows how that didn't that must have literally passed through someone's stomach to get into the net. But nothing we could do about it, and we certainly weren't going to be able to get anything back after that. But we did have more shots on target, and as you can see, that was... Well, it wasn't a clear-cut chance. They only had one clear-cut chance. We probably should have done better in that game. It's a shame. It left me a little bit bitter. Against Chelsea, though, at home, we didn't really turn up for this one. A couple of early chances, but after that, it was all Chelsea. And, well, it was mostly all Chelsea after Jesper Julsgaard got himself sent off. 2 yellow cards in the first 36 minutes. Well done, son. That's the spirit. Like, bit of common sense, mate. That's his second red card this season, and we're not even halfway through it yet. If he gets a third one, I'm gonna have to have him words. He's gonna be having words because he's a good player, but he's not really found his feet at Premier League level, which is a real shame because I thought he was going to be one of our stars this year. It's just not really materialised. I thought he and Draga were the big ones for us. Great goal from Hazard. Just keeper's got no chance. This was after the red card, and we were kind of in the game at least before that. But once the red card went, no chance. They did score a second one late on when defending ceased to happen. Although, admittedly, I've got to say that was a foul. There's no way that wasn't a foul. And then there was just, pinball between the goalie's legs. Azpilicueta was also sent off in this game, so it did kind of even the numbers up, but not really in any way whatsoever. As Chelsea just acted like the steam train that they are and mullered us. But still, not a huge number of goals conceded. Unfortunately, against Arsenal, we sort of gave up that mantra and decided to concede many goals, although only one more than against Chelsea. We did manage to get ourselves a goal, though, and that goal came from Brian Ruiz. And to be fair, when they made themselves 2 goals up through Olivier Giroud and Mesut Ozil in the first 15 minutes, I kind of had the Spurs syndrome setting in. Are we going to lose this game by a lot of goals? Because against Spurs, when we went 2 down early, in fact, it wasn't even as early as this, I genuinely worried that we were going to concede a hat load, because we managed to concede a goal to Arsenal off of our own free kick. Kaci Nikolic, again, fouled. Quite clearly fouled there, but hey, who cares about fouling when you're Jack Wilshere, who can just run straight through, and, well, obviously he didn't score himself, eventually ends up at the far side. Giroud that shouldn't be going in. Stekelenburg shouldn't be getting beaten at his near post like that, but he did, and that's all there really is to it. They were the better side on the night, and they deserved to win the game. That can't be denied. I mean, look, 5 clear-cut chances to nil. If anything, we got away with it a little bit. They were very, very... they were good. There's no denying that. Arsenal are having a good season. We're having a good season too, though. And it's nice to get these little fixtures out the way all in one go. And we didn't lose too much morale and sort of momentum as a result of these 3 straight defeats, because... I don't know, the team just seemed to take it quite well. We managed to say the right things to them at the right times, and they seem to be still in good spirits, which is what we like to see, because the last thing we needed is a load of people losing their sort of morale at this stage, right after Christmas, because we've got some big games in January. We've got the FA Cup third round against Sheffield United in the next game, but we'll talk about that more in a second. Giroud, ball through, saved by Stekelenburg, bounces straight back and Ozil into the empty net, and I got very, very worried at this point, and... thankfully, it didn't quite turn out as bad as I was thinking it might. I mean, I swear one day this season we are going to get like a 7-0 hammering from one of these sides when this strategy fails. But I feel like we're capable of handing out our own. We played Berisha in this game, and, well, Ruiz actually, this is Ruiz's goal, and I thought it was a decent goal. Just gets himself in the middle, very Thomas Draga, but Draga, of course, didn't play in this game. I think he came on late as a substitute. We gave him a little rest for this one because it's the Christmas period and there's a lot of games. Plus, we do need to get past Sheffield United, so I'll be putting out a relatively strong side, and, of course, Arsenal scored a penalty in the second half just to wrap things up for us. For them, rather. It could have been worse. And I've said that about a lot of these big fixtures. It could have been worse, and I guess that's really a good thing. It's better that it could have been worse than it could have been better. And frankly, they obviously could have been better as well. There's a lot of room for improvement here. But it's just about next season we'll be looking to take, we'll look to beat Aston Villa at home. We'll look to take a point off Southampton away, beat Hull at home. It's about slowly building, taking points off some of the big sides at home, trying to challenge for a proper top 10 place. That's all we can really do. We have slipped down to 12th as a result of those poor results. But that was as to be expected. We are still 8 points clear of the relegation zone. It's enough for now, and our goal difference is vastly superior to the others, so that's kind of key. We are still above Liverpool, though, who really have not kicked on yet. I don't know if they've found themselves a manager yet. Let's see if they have. It's been a month. They have. It's Joachim Low. Yogi Löw. I'm surprised. That's a strange one, actually, but it'd be good to see if he could actually do something with them, because they are really, really struggling this year, and if they finish anywhere outside the top 10, I'd be very surprised. I see this so often in Football Manager. You see a side that loses the first 12 games of the season and somehow survives just because suddenly they just click in. Don't know why it happens, it just does seem to. Van Persie's the top goal scorer, Eden Hazard is the top player, and Eric Lamela has the most assists. Right, let's have a little look at the stats. Top appearance maker is now Kieran Trippier on his own. I think he's basically played every single game for us. Top goal scorer, Thomas Draga with 7. Petroglu just in behind that, and then Gorgon, ironically, with 3, although he's not played that many games. Top assists, Draga again, and Scott Parker. Top man of the match now, by a mile, is Thomas Draga with 5. He's been absurdly good. He's been in the team of the week, every other week this season. I think he's got a chance, if he plays well enough, at getting in the team of the year, genuinely, and certainly being fans player of the year. Pass rating? Well, probably still Parker. I don't really count Lucci, he's not played a lot. Parker's still the best, although Mariga is catching him up slightly. Tackles per game, probably still got Scott Parker. In fact, he really has picked it up now. Mariga sort of dropped away a little bit. Dribbles per game, Emil Larsson well up there. Way beyond the likes of sort of Kacha Nikolic, who doesn't seem to dribble too much. Most yellow cards. Scott Parker's already had 8 yellow cards. Our midfield is... I mean, they could be on for nearly 20 yellow cards if they carry on at this rate. The only player that's ever been sent off for us this year is Yulsgaard, so there's that. And our average rating, well... Scott Parker's there, but Draga is really starting to catch him up now. And I feel that he probably will overtake him over the course of a season. Scott Parker had a great start. And he's really racked up some decent stats here. But I think Draga probably in the long run will overtake him. Let's just have a quick look at if there were any injuries. I think we do have a couple. No, we don't. My God. No, I just assumed that we'd see Adil Chihi. And oh no, wait. Yep. God damn it. Of course he's got a torn hamstring, hasn't he? That's not a very Adil Chihi injury. Usually it's things like, I don't know, fell over his own socks or something. He seems like a clumsy bloke. I can't say if he's like that in real life, probably isn't, but on Football Manager, he did seem to get injured every single game in the last year, which is why I brought in players, so we didn't have to play him. That didn't stop him from getting injured. I'm pretty sure he did that in training. Let's just have a quick gander. I'm just curious now, actually, if he did do that in training, because I don't see how else he would have done it. In match. Must have been an under-21s game then, because he sure as hell wasn't doing that in a real game. I would let him near the pitch at the moment. He'll probably be leaving us at the end of the season, or at least when his contract is up as well. Although I might try and get some money for him in January if I can. We'll just have to see. But that is about that. We've got some... Well, let's see what we've got in January, actually. Let's see what we've got coming up. We have got Sheffield United in the FA Cup, Everton away and QPR away, and then, oh no, we've got Wigan, Newcastle and Blackburn. So, reasonably thinking here, Sheffield United, we need to win that, definitely. Everton away, that's going to be difficult, and I wouldn't be surprised if we lost there. And I probably wouldn't be overly bothered, although that would be 4 straight league defeats, so you've got to worry a little bit when that happens. QPR away, I'd like to try and go and win there, because that would mean a lot to the fans, but I'd say a draw would be reasonable. Wigan at home, definite win. Newcastle at home, definite win. Blackburn away, possibly a draw there too. So 1, 4, 7. I'd like to try and take 8 points in January to get us back on track and give us a real hope of finishing in a comfortable mid-table position this season, which I have now updated it. The board have now said that a mid-table position is where we're aiming for. My job status is still horrific, but that's because, you know, contracts and whatnot. They have invested some more money, and I have got a slightly bigger transfer budget, and that could come in very, very useful. we'll just have to see how things go, really. So I will join you at the end of January. See if we make any signings. Who knows? In fact, I think we may have already... One sec, before we go, have a little quick gander. Have we made any new signings? It would appear we have not. No, that's not the right button. That is a really pointless... Why would you want to know where are they now on players that you've just brought in? Okay, future transfers, no, it's still exactly the same. I think those two are joining us today, though. So we shall see what they're actually like when they join the club. And they might just provide a decent bit of backing, especially the goalkeeper. But we'll find out in the next episode. I will see you at the end of January. If you've liked what you've seen, hit the like button. If you liked it even more than that, hit that big old subscribe button. It means a lot. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.